Brand building continues, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 2 of the Resport podcast, aka the RRS pod. And I'm only talking about one thing this week because not a lot happened and they made it hard on me to try and find topics. So I'm just going to get this out the way. I thought I might write a piece about this. Speaking of which, I went deep into the inner crevices of my mind and soul and everything in the last article I posted. So read that if you want to never see me the same way again. I guess that's all I probably accomplished with that. Just creeped people out. But, it is what it is. So it's up on the website. Read it if you please. So, yeah, boring week. Everything I hit on last week is the same nonsense as this week. So I'm getting this out the way. LeBron's destinations. I thought I might write a piece about this, but I'm like, nah, this is a good time to cover it. So, LeBron James' potential destinations. I wrote down 4 because in my mind there are only 4. And, you could throw in a couple other ones if you want to get messy with it. But I looked at the cap for next year, potential cap space. I'm all over Spot Rack. You know what it is, doing my research. Looked at the rosters, all the assets, all the stories, all the hype, all the noise, all the nonsense, and I got 4 teams. And I'll go through them one by one in detail. First up, the darling of the national media, the Los Angeles Lakers, of course. Who but them? Because they don't have enough in their history of illustrious success, so let's throw potentially the greatest player ever at them. Why not, right? They do have mathematically the most cap room next season, and this is all about next season, I should say, at about $62 million, give or take. I'm playing my game like crazy here because this mic will get blown out if I talk too loud, which is just not good for anybody. $62 million in cap for the Lakers. That gives them enough money to sign LeBron and one more illustrious, I've said that word a lot, free agent coming up this offseason. That would include, I'd say, Chris Paul, who's unrestricted, Boogie Cousins, who's also unrestricted, or you have the opt-out guys who are on contract but could opt out if they felt so inclined. That's Paul George and DeAndre Jordan. I don't know, DeAndre Jordan's not really in there, but I need another guy because I feel like 3's too weak, so I just throw him in there. You can get LeBron and him if you're the Lakers, the way their cap is looking right now. Another plus for them is for their case of getting LeBron, if they're presenting it to him in a PowerPoint. They have a slide about how he already owns 2 homes in LA, which ESPN will not shut up about. I get it, all right? He owns it. Well, he's already living there, so I mean, why wouldn't he just play there too? For the reasons I'm about to mention, or why he's not going to play there. This is like a neutral reason. I couldn't decide if this was a positive or negative for their case exactly. So like right in the middle is, I'd say, their roster. And I'm looking at the next 5 years here. I'm not, because he's 33 right now. I'm going to say till he's 38 is when he's really going to have a shot at winning. Most people probably say his window's smaller than that. But because he's proven to be a robot, Tom Brady-esque so far. Actually, Tom Brady even got hurt for a whole year. Bron's never even been hurt, and he's played an extra 2.5 seasons worth of games. All the playoff things he's racked up over the years. So I don't know. Maybe his time is up at some point. Maybe it's not. But I'm gonna give him till 38 to really be contending for titles. I'll be generous. So their roster for the next 5 years, their major assets are really going to consist of Lonzo, if he stays there, and LeVar doesn't drive him out. Brandon Ingram as he gets better and better, and eventually next couple years will probably be all-star caliber, if I had to guess. And Kuzma, who popped out of nowhere. Those are their discernible, for sure, assets that would draw him there, I'd say. You got a couple other guys, but some of them they're going to have to cut. Brook Lopez is part of the cap dump, most likely. I'm not really throwing Julius Randle in there. So that's in the middle. That's not great, but, you got some stuff going on there, especially if they keep Lonzo. Now, the negatives of the Lakers. They're in the Western Conference. I don't know if you've heard, but the Western Conference is pretty good, way better than the Eastern Conference. Ever heard of the Warriors? So, not an easy time. Not a lot of fun to be had in the Western Conference. Not only them, but if you're starting where the Lakers are with that roster and you add LeBron to it, you still got to get past the Rockets, The Spurs, whatever they're going to do with Kawhi if they keep him. The T-Wolves are going to get better as those guys get older. They're already pretty good this year. I mean, look at this. I'm professional. I got a computer right in front. I can look at the standings. This is high tech. I swear to God. OKC. I mean, if they keep Russ around like they're trying so hard to do, that's looking dangerous. It's looking a bit dodgy. I don't know. They can get like Nuggets and Trailblazers and all these guys, but whatever. Who knows? Maybe Donovan Mitchell makes the Jazz a contender in a year or so. Who knows? West is hard. It's not easy. The Western Conference this year is basically the finals because the best two teams in the league, in all likelihood, are going to be playing in that series between the Rockets and the Warriors, most likely. So you got to play like 2 championships if you want to actually bring home a trophy at the end of this thing. Doesn't sound like fun. Doesn't sound very enticing. The next team I would list as a real possibility of getting LeBron is the Rockets, another Western Conference team. Now, they got more going for them than the Lakers, in my mind. You know, I know he doesn't have houses there or whatever, but yeah, nobody cares about that. Nobody should care about that. He's got enough money to buy a small country, I would wager. He doesn't, he can drop however many mil he needs to live comfortably in any place in this country. They also have enough cap room for him, but that's really it. They don't have enough cap room for him and another one of these stars. But another plus to the Rockets is that they don't really need to get another star because they already got Harden on that contract. They'd bring back Chris Paul, I would assume. And not another star, but they have a really deep, young rotation on that team. And that's why Cleveland has been such a disaster for LeBron of late, because they don't have a good rotation. It was a disaster. It was terrible. Once you got past their starting 5, there was nothing. And, even if LeBron plays 48 minutes, the rest of these guys are taking off, and there's just nobody there. That's what happened in the finals. And now this team is totally different, which I'll get into. But you got as good a bench and supporting cast as you can find in the NBA in this Houston roster. That's a big thing for LeBron because he learned that lesson the hard way. The minus to the Rockets is obviously you're in the Western Conference, but it's not as significant as it would be for the Lakers because the Lakers with that roster and LeBron are on paper significantly worse than the 4 teams I already mentioned. The Rockets are better than most of those other teams, but it's still undeniably harder than it would be in the East because they're still, I don't think, better than the Warriors as they're currently constructed. Have to play them in the Western Conference Finals. You're not looking forward to that, obviously. Even though somehow the Rockets have a better record than the Warriors right now. Interesting. West is harder than the East. That's what it comes down to for a lot of this. You could list any other teams. Maybe San Antonio clears up a bunch of cap room, and they get him and Kawhi and whatever else, Aldridge, whoever. It's still the West. It's still so hard to make it to the finals out of the West. It's so hard compared to the East. I know the East is better this year. Toronto came out of nowhere. Boston's really good. But, come on. Both those teams are getting clapped if they play in the West. It's not a conversation, in my mind. West is hard, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news. I wrote down the Cavs as an option because, I actually wrote in my notes, all caps not going to happen. And then I crossed it out because I'm like, okay, well, this is, in my head, it's still the Cavs with IT4 and Shumpert and all these guys who proven to not be able to do anything. That's not what we're looking at now. The Cavs' validity in re-signing LeBron is entirely dependent on how things go for them in the rest of this season. I'm not even sure if it's enough if they just get out of the East, which is going to be hard for them for a lot of reasons. Because they still have a lot to prove, right? You get all these guys, you get George Hill, you get Clarkson, but are you for sure better than Boston and Toronto? I don't know. I wouldn't say that, not for sure. Actually, oh my God, I think last week I said for sure they're going to win the East. Okay, let me hedge my own bets here. Cleveland has a shot to win the East, and they did not before all those trades happened. But it's still, I don't know what I'm saying actually. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. It's going to depend. Their chance at re-signing LeBron is A, on how many wins and losses they end up with this year, B, on how far they get in the playoffs this year, and C, if LeBron enjoys bullying Tyronn Lue and making him look like a small child. If he's getting tired of that, who knows? Maybe he wants to be coached. I have no idea. Because you're looking at D'Antonio or you're looking at Luke Walton. I feel like he'd walk all over Luke Walton. I don't think he's worried about that. It depends entirely on how this team does for the rest of the season, basically. So it's too early to call. If they do really well, maybe if they go to the finals, that's enough for LeBron. He's got what he wants. Then the rest of these points are moot because he's not going to go anywhere if he really feels like that's good. Then the final team, my personal favorite, obviously, the Sixers! They have a shot, right? Look at this. My notes, ladies and gentlemen, I wrote it down. They have enough cap room for him and another guy. Here's the thing. Spot rack is whack. Spot whack is what it should be called. Sounds like someone who can't pronounce their R's. Spot whack. Spot whack, spot track is dumb because it says the Sixers only have $31 million in cap room next year, and I know for a fact that they have more than that. Don't lie to me, Spot Rack. Don't lie to me. I have the whole internet here. I can find some fake news to disprove your nonsense. I swear to God, I'll do it. Don't question me. Don't test me. It says here's in descending order of cap room for the 2018-19 season. Here's what Spot Rack has as quote unquote practical cap space, which is like if they cut off the assets that they arbitrarily decided were dispensable. I don't know how that works. That's not mathematical. Lakers in first with 61 mil. Bulls in second with 41 mil. He's not going there. Sixers in third with 31 mil. He might go there, ladies and gentlemen. Fourth is the Hawks with 30, and then there's a jump off to the Mavs at 23, and then Rockets at 22, and then Kings, and then all the way down the damn line. That doesn't make sense to me. I know for a fact they have enough room. Philadelphia media has been going crazy saying that we can sign LeBron and another guy. So unless they're all just smoking crack in North Philly, there's something to that because they're all saying it. So despite Spot Rack, you have LeBron and another one of the guys I mentioned, PG, CP3, Boogie, DJ, all the guys with, I gave you all their nicknames, so if you don't really know what I'm talking about, then you're not going to know who any of them are. Risk I'm willing to take. Another plus for the Sixers is their roster. Joel Embiid is at least as good an asset as any other guy he could play with. Because, and I realize I'm ranking him up against Harden in this situation, but JoJo's a center. Bron's never really played with a really good center, unless you want to count Bosh, but Bosh wasn't like a down low, bang it kind of guy. He was like a, finesse kind of guy. And JoJo can do both. So there's that. Haters. And Harden is like a ball dominant guy. I don't know if they're going to try and switch him off ball in that scenario with LeBron in Houston. But then you have CP3. How many of these guys can play off ball? How many of them have to have the ball? I don't know what LeBron wants. It's going to be what LeBron wants, LeBron gets most likely in that scenario. But still, why create a controversy when you can have a godly Olajuwon 2.0 center on your team? That's all I'm saying. Plus, you got Ben Simmons. Don't know if you heard of him. Who's also like his little bro, it kind of seems like on social media. They've worked out, I think, in the offseason plenty of times. I say plenty of times. At least one time. They got something going on there. That's got to count for something. It's not the banana boat, but it's banana boat next generation. Maybe. Rocco, Dario Saric, and Markelle, who is coming back. I swear to God. I got all the stock. In the last week, I have bought all the Markelle Fultz stock. I own all of it. All of it. I own 100% of Markelle Fultz's NBA player stock. And, it's only going up. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, Bitcoin is what we're looking at here. And it's going through the roof. So you combine all that, the roster, the cap room for another guy. Imagine a starting lineup of Markelle Fultz, Robert Covington, LeBron James, Ben Simmons, and Joel Embiid. And I didn't even mention a guy I don't even know what they would do. All right, imagine this starting lineup. I don't know who plays the 2. I guess you don't even care at this point, because in this point in NBA basketball history, you don't even really need positions. You just need the best 5 guys on the floor, because that's what all the good teams are doing anyway. So, I mean, Embiid, Simmons, LeBron, like Paul George, and Markelle. You tell me that's not going to win a championship? That doesn't have a shot? That's not a better lineup than anything else he could do? Give me a break, yo. Yeah, give me a break. Come on. Plus, it's in the Eastern Conference. Yeah. You don't have to play the Warriors before the finals, or the Rockets, or the Timberwolves, or the Spurs, or the Thunder, or whoever else. You don't have to. You get to beat up on the likes of the Wizards, and the Pacers, and the Bucks, and the Heat, and the Pistons in the playoffs if you're on the Sixers for the next couple of years. You know? I didn't even... Oh, I'm looking at the Cavs like, should I say about them? No, Cavs are done as soon as you leave. The Celtics and the Raptors, yeah, all right. You have some kind of series in the Eastern Conference Finals. So what? Still kick their ass. It's not a big deal. That starting 5 I just mentioned, plus you can keep Saric around, and Rocco, you already got him signed. Like, there's your 7-man rotation. Like, throw another Bull in there. Who cares? I just kicked the desk. TJ, who knows? Hey, it doesn't matter at that point, really. You're just picking nits. You got the hard part if LeBron comes here and another guy. Even if another guy doesn't come here. And Spot Rack is right, and the Philadelphia media at large is incorrect. You're in the East, baby. You got a ticket to the finals every single year. Doesn't get better than that. And I guess I'll say the minus is, he doesn't currently own a home in Philadelphia, huh? But I already mentioned, that's not a real argument. This is going to be a short podcast. I got to stretch it out a little bit. Let me lean back in the chair. Oh, it's been a long-ass day. I was at, like, a broadcast seminar in my college, like, all day. This is nothing to do with LeBron. I already laid it out there. LeBron's going to Philly. That's more stock I could buy. Because it's going to be available. I guarantee it. No, I don't know if he's going to Philly. I know that we're not going to be able to say anything with any reasonable certainty until after we see how the Cavs do this year. And then after they do, he can't go to LA. He can't. He just can't, man. He can't do it. To the NBA at large. Just for the culture, he can't go to LA. He can't. He can't. No. Come on. Bron, yeah. My guy, come on, yo. What are you trying to do? Don't go to LA. It doesn't make sense for all the reasons I just said. I just said it. It doesn't make sense, man. Don't do it. All right? Just, it doesn't make sense. I don't care that you have a home there. A couple of them. Doesn't matter. Every NBA star has homes in LA. Doesn't mean anything else to any other of those guys. So it just doesn't. It doesn't make sense. Don't do it. All right. He's not gonna do it. He's not gonna do it. I'm looking at the window right now, looking at myself. He's not gonna do it, right, Brad? He's not. That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense, right? What happened to making sense? Politics don't make sense. Well, politics really never made sense. Nothing makes sense anymore. Don't add to the pile of not making sense by going to LA. Swear to God. Yeah, we're like not even at 20 minutes. Anyway, back to my time wasting. I was at a broadcast seminar, or seminars, plural, in my college all day today. All day on a Friday. Woke up like this on a Friday. And, I learned some things. I wrote some things down. All these professionals came in and talked. It was cool. But I was really there because they had a contest where if you came up with like a good marketing premise for this thing they handed you on a piece of paper, if you were in the top 3, they give you 75 buckaroos to Amazon, which I direly need as a college student with literally enough debt in a couple years to actually drown myself, I think not even like actual like dollar bills, like just the papers that I'm going to be getting in the mail are going to be enough to suffocate me if I place them thusly. So $75 on Amazon ain't going to hurt. Ain't going to hurt the cause. That's all I'm saying. Would have been nice. I say would have been nice because I didn't win. By the time this thing, and you had to stay till the end of the whole day, to submit and then get like your answer, see if you made it. I think I was one of like 12 kids, right? And I'm smarter than half of them, at least. I'm not really smart than half of them. Academically, I'm not smarter than any of them. But they're not out here doing this, man. They're not out here making it happen, so that's got to count for something. I thought I had a shot, and no, I didn't. I lost. Oh, voice cracks are back. I'm 19 and I'm having voice cracks on the air. That's bad. That's not going on the resume. I'll tell you that right now. Lost. Very sad. But I blasted like feedback by Kanye up here, and I'm like, I'm all right. I got the thing going. I got the business going on. I'm doing what I can. But it's still kind of upsetting because $75 is a lot, man. It's a lot. Do you have any idea how many Chipotle burritos I could buy with $75? Like multiple. We're talking multiple Chipotle burritos, ladies and gentlemen. That's how it gets quantified for me. I don't even really buy a ton of stuff on Amazon. I guess I could buy, I don't know, like Sour Patch Kids. That's what everyone else buys for their dorm room that I see on Twitter. So, yeah, there's that. People are walking around outside. I brought a knife to me. I brought a knife with me to the studio. Because by the time I'm going to get out of here, I'm recording this at like, can I see a clock, please? 7:15 right now. So it's pitch black outside because I'm way up north. And I'm going to have to like walk around some of the streets that are like at the edge of campus. And I'm not trying to get shanked because that happens all the time. Bulls getting shanked. Bulls getting shot. It's rough out here. And it's especially bad because it's been warmer the last couple days. And I say warmer, not warm objectively, as in not below freezing in the last couple of days. So the snow's melting with the sun. And that brings all the criminals out because they don't have to wear extra layers when they go to rob people. So it's just convenient for them. So, here's to not get. If you don't hear another episode, it means I got shanked on this evening, and that's what happened. So you want to come to my funeral, you can play these episodes. I live on through them. These last 2 episodes, and the articles that I wrote and the website. There's no way. I don't have a prodigy. I am the prodigy. I should be the prodigy for someone else. If I knew what I was doing, that's what I would do. Cowherd, where are you at? You need some bull to get you coffee? I'll get you coffee. Fly me out to LA. It's no big deal. You got the cash. I know you got that contract at Fox. Yeah, you got the money. Give me a break. So I got my knife. That was the sound of the knife hitting the desk. So yeah, I got to get ready to stab some people on my way out of here just to survive. But yeah, I'm debating if I want to get like Chipotle or something after this. Chipotle is one of the dominating thoughts in my consciousness. If you haven't realized that by now, I think I might get Chipotle. I don't know, but there's an index. The distance I have to walk increases my chances of getting stabbed or shot. I'm not ruling out shot because that happens too. Literally, like 4 weeks ago, a month ago. Make it easier. Just say a month, Brad. Gee, goddamn, what do you say? A month ago, a guy got shot in front of... another voice crack. He got shot in front of Chipotle. Shot! Man was just trying to get a burrito. Or a bowl. Can't even do that in these streets right now. Man. But that's a risk I'm willing to take. Because that stuff is delish. I'm already risking E. coli, Ebola, whatever it is. I'm already risking E. coli. Statistically, by going there, and I'm doing that. So what's a bullet or two in my spine? No difference. Makes no difference. So yeah, I'm gonna go do that after this. After I post this, because keep in mind it's like 7:15 right now. By the time I'm done rendering all this and exporting it and getting it on YouTube and SoundCloud and pimping it on Twitter and maybe the Gram, I'll leave the Gram people alone for now. I think I've hounded them enough. I've lost enough followers. But yeah, get it out there in the ether of the blogosphere. I mean, be like 10 o'clock or something. So, wish me luck. Hope I don't get stabbed. And we'll see what happens with LeBron. See ya.